Today is day 224 of the year of streaming and learning to code. We are continuing on here at freeCodeCamp with, I believe it is the last section of... What section are we in? freeCodeCamp. Let's find out. Something about basic algorithm scripting. Caesar's Cipher. Right? Okay, so, Caesar's Cipher. We started to read into this activity. I believe it was yesterday. Caesar's Cipher. One of the simplest and most widely known ciphers is a Caesar cipher, also known as a shift cipher. In a shift cipher, the meanings of the letters are shifted by some set amount. A common modern use of the Rot13, isn't it Rot13 or something about that? Cipher, where the value, well, let's find out. Yeah, rotate by 13 places. Good. Now, we'll open it, since it's a good illustration of what exactly they're talking about. Ta-da, this guy. See? B, rotate 13 letters, you end up with O, E, 13, R, H, U, L, Y. Hello is ERB. Pretty cool. A common modern use is the Rot13 cipher, where the values of the letters are shifted by 13 places. Thus, A is N, B, O, and so on. Write a function that takes a Rot13 encoded string as input and returns a decoded string. All letters will be uppercase. Don't transform any non-alphabetic characters, i.e. spaces, punctuation, but do pass them on. Remember to use read, search, ask if you get stuck. Try to pair program. I don't know what the hell that means. Try to pair program. Copy. Write your own code. Pair programming is an agile software development technique in which two programmers work together at one workstation. One, the driver, writes code, while the other, the observer navigator, reviews each line as it's typed in. Two programmers switch roles frequently. Oh, so it's like a buddy system. Hey, little kitty, where are you? Tiny cat? I know you're in the... Ah, there you are. Can you... Yeah, see, there she is. Sleeping in the dark. Okay. Tiny cat. Doing her thing. Tiny cat. So we can pair program together. Me and her. It's going to be awesome. Write your own code. Here's some helpful links. String prototype character code at... and string from character code. Character code at. The character code at method returns an integer between 0, wow, and 65,535, representing the UTF-16 code unit at the given index. The UTF-16 code unit matches the Unicode point for code points representable in a single UTF-16 code unit. None of that means anything to me. It's all gibberish. But might also be the first code unit of a surrogate pair for code points not representable in a single UTF-16 code. I feel like this is the code breakdown, the schematic, the actual scale, whatever you want to refer to it as, when it's evaluating like how it breaks up numbers, anything that starts with a 1 regardless of its length, and anything that starts with a 2 regardless of its length, its breakdown, and then capital letters and then lowercase letters as it sifts through all of that noise. I know Unicode is that, but is UTF-16? UTF-16 code unit matches the Unicode point. I don't know. It's something. Anyways, we'll figure it out. Surrogate pair of code points not representable. EGG Unicode points 0 to 10,000. If you want the entire code point value, use code point at string character code at index. Wonder what it does. Uh-oh. Our nose is feeling itchy. Sneeze storm on the horizon. Oh god, brace yourselves. It's coming in. Save the children. Character code at description. Unicode points to a range from 0 to, 1,114,111,000. 0 times 10 FFFF. The first 128 Unicode code points are a direct match of the ASCII character encoding. For information on Unicode, see the JavaScript guide. This is just one giant rabbit hole for this activity. God, I just want to Google Cipher JavaScript and just call it a night. That'd be so much easier. We are looking for something in particular. Rhymes with JavaScript. Oh, we just opened it. Grammar types, JavaScript. Yeah. I'm sure it's critical, but I'm not feeling it. Note the character code out will always return the value less than 60 blah blah blah. The higher code points represented lower value. There's a lot of stuff going on. Character code at I+1. As if examining reproducing a string with 2 letters, or use code point at I instead. See examples 2 and 3. Character code at returns none if given an index less than 0 or equal or greater to than the length of the string. Backwards compatibility. Historic JavaScript 1.2. Something about Latin. And yeah, it's just a bunch of noise to me. Use character code at. The following example returns 65. Unicode value for A. Character code at 0 is the capital letter A that returns 65. I could kind of adjust to that, I suppose. I see in general how it functions. Fixing character code at to handle non-basic multilingual plain characters if their presence earlier in the string is unknown. This version might be used in for loops and the like when it's unknown whether non-BMP bilingual multiplane characters exist before the specified index position. Fix character code at string and index. Example, fix character code at blah 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 0 something something something. Character code at blankety blankety blank 1 is false. IDX is equals IDX or it equals 0. 2 states? Schrodinger's cat? It's both? I'm not really sure. Variable code string dot character code at IDX. Variable high, low. This is all noise. What is happening? This doesn't mean anything to an actual human learning how to program. If this is less than or equal to the code, and the code is less than or equal to that, so it's within a range, high will equal code, and low will equal the string character code at index plus 1. If is non is low, throw high surrogate not followed by plus. I don't see exactly how this is going to line up with what we're currently looking to establish. I get that part of it, maybe the basis, could be used to help pinpoint what letter will convert to what. This seems there's a lot of stuff going on here. This is the equivalent of the guy trying to sell the gym membership, coming on a little strong. Good enthusiasm, just a bit much. Kind of makes the sale intimidating. Might want to kick it down a notch or two. Which tab did this come from? The other one they recommended was from character code. This looks way less threatening. This is far more rspeed than the other method. Static string from character code method returns a string created by using the specified sequence of Unicode values. Damn, this is part 2. So this is extracting and identifying the Unicode. What's in position 0? A is in position 0. And what's the value of A? 65 is its Unicode value. Once you have that, then you can do this. Ta-da! B-D-D-D-D-D. You take that and you turn it into something useful. So we were on the right path. We just don't know how to fully implement this. The breakdown version is nice. We could just take that. I'm sure there's a clever solution to whatever we're trying to identify. Maybe at a higher level. What if we only go this deep? We probably don't need to do all of this. We could take whatever the cipher is, character code at all of them. 0, comma, blank, 0 through whatever. And maybe it will return all of them. And from there we can figure out what to do. Does not sound pretty. Continuing on. Static string from character code method returns a string created by using the specified sequence of Unicode values. String dot from character code num, other stuff, num n, a sequence of numbers that are Unicode values. Return value, a string containing character corresponding to the sequence of Unicode values. Description, this method returns the string. It returns a string and not a string object. Because from character code is a static method of string, you always use it as string dot from character code blank rather than as a method of the string object you created. I think I follow. We're going to pretend I follow. There's a lack of oxygen in this room. Or it's just me and my inability to breathe. It's probably that. Using from character code. The following example returns the string ABC. 65, 66, 67. Aha! Pretty cool. So 65 and the following 26 values are what we want to work with. Unicode in its full glory. Now, what does that mean to your average programming bear, though? Although most common Unicode values can be represented with one 16-bit number, as expected early on during JavaScript standardization, and from character code can be used to return a single character from the most common values, i.e. UCS2 values, which are the subset of UTF-16 with the most common characters, in order to deal with all legal Unicode values up to 21 bits from character code alone is inadequate, since the higher code point characters to use lower value surrogate numbers from a single character. Oh, this is all just fucking noise. I swear to God. Happy thoughts, Stephen. Happy thoughts. So, one receives a string, you reference the index, spits out Unicode. The other one, you reference the Unicode, it spits out the string. Okay, there we go. Very cool, tons of fun. What are we looking for from here? Pair programming, little kitty is going to be of 0 use. We can... We're dying. We're dying. Death. Ugh. Okay. Variable hoisting. I'm sure all of this is useful. I just don't know how to implement all of this crap. Let's do a lot of guess and check work. That seems right up our alley. Rot13 Cipher should decode to freeCodeCamp. Yeah, that's never gonna happen. Rot13 free pizza and decodes to free love ? Yeah, that does sound questionable. Rot13 gear to fix work should decode to the quick brown dog jumped over the lazy fox. I'm noticing a lot of capital letters. And it's also only returning capital stuff. There is punctuation and spaces, and it's all in the same spots. But I don't see any lowercase nonsense. So that is comforting. That means we could do characters from 65 to whatever the hell it's called for Unicode. And what else does that mean? I'm wondering if we should set up an array for the letters and numbers, or if we should do like key value pairs. Because if we were to do key value pairs, we could... What could we do? We could reference... I'm trying to think if we need to do it in an opposite direction. Currently in my mind, because the way I'm seeing it, God, we haven't had to set up an object or an array. Alphabet, I guess. Like A 65 B, oh, they don't, is it commas? B, C, D, E, F. And 66, 67, 68, 60. Oh. 68, 69, and 70. I don't think we need to... Little cat, what do you think? I know. I'm not sure either. Let's move that out of the way for you, shall we? And we'll move this, and look at that. You've got all that space on the desk to lay down, lounge about, do kitty things. Well, that is a good point you bring up, little cat. Let's also turn you, because you're ridiculous. And we're turning, and we're turning, and we're turning. There we go. Always facing us. Now, I don't think we need to do this. But let's say, so string is something, we receive all of this. String equals what? Variable cipher. Cipher. Variable character code at. It will take blank and give us the numbers. Copy string dot. I wonder if we have to do dot prototype character code at, or if we can just do dot character code at. I think, God, there's so much CAF around here. String character code at. Maybe it is string. What was it before? No, that was ABC. And at position 0. God, death. See, I just want to put in the whole thing. I want to drop in the whole damn string. Maybe I need to do a for loop. That's probably what I need to do. This probably should be an I. This could be string. That could be I, but that means we're going to need to set it in a for loop. Which means we've got more work ahead of us. Variable I equals 0. String dot length I plus plus, and from here we need to then do what? From here, no, that doesn't need that. Little cat, what are you doing? Why are you stuck? Oh my God, we're trapped. I'm just gonna... There you go. She's free. Slightly. Okay. Alright, we'll figure it out. So, for loop, variable I will start at 0, string.length. Why isn't that green? Probably the variable. Shouldn't that be green? I feel like it should be green. There we go. We were confusing everyone. That's all. That's what was wrong. Us, yet again. Shocking. So, tab, for loop, variable starts at 0, string.length, it's going to go through string I++, string character at I. Does that work? God, I hope that works. But it should push somewhere. There should be a variable, like beforehand, like variable cipher, or, yeah, variable cipher, cipher array. Yeah, we'll just leave it at cipher equals and an empty array. And we could do push cipher dot push, put all this noise inside of the push, and I think this will dump all of the Unicode into here. 65, 66, 67, blah, 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 so on and so forth into this. 65, 66, 67, blankety, blankety, blank, right, left. So, if we leave that blank, I dumps into there. Little kitty, what do you think we should do? Or licking your toes and then leaving is also a good option. So we've got the first part. This kind of helps us visualize. I don't think we're going to need key value pairs. I was thinking maybe we could. You know what? I think maybe the other thing to do would to have switched them. No, we don't actually need that. Now that we have cipher, we could do like shift as another value, or as another variable. So we're pushing to cipher, and then from here we would be taking a new, maybe even a second for loop, and kind of the same song and dance. Maybe variable shift. Shift. Maybe it's a whole, maybe it's a self-contained thing like this. String from blankety blankety blank returns, so forth and stuff and such. String dot, is string essential? I keep feeling like string is essential, but they keep saying string character code app, blah 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 blah, and here they've just got like the actual string itself and the character code. Because this is a string, it's not an array. So the string is a string, not an array, so that's good. So that's a string method, because we've had issues with that before, where I've used array methods on string methods and string methods on array methods, and that gets ugly pretty quickly. We just need to figure out what that's going to equal. But same song and dance again. shift will equal something, or we'll call shift something. We're going to take Cipher, all the numbers in Cipher, all the Unicode in Cipher, and we're going to do what? We've got 65 and 66 and blah, blah, blah. We've got the next 26 characters of this to work with. So we've got all of our numbers here in Cipher. 65, 66, 67, 65, 66, 67. And then what are we going to do? We need to now take Cipher and process it. We need to compare it to an array. We should... Maybe that's what should happen. Instead of having A equals blankety 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 blank, maybe what we actually need is 65 is over here. Copy. Let's get rid of this. Hold on. Bear with me. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. How do you delete on it? Is it function? Yeah, 1, 2, 3. No. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now, maybe 65 should be plus, what the hell is that? 10, 70, 78? 78. Yeah. 79. Oh, too far. Maybe it should be closer to this, because then when we call the key value pair, it will be the proper thing. This feels a little crazy to me. There's got to be a cool, quick way to do this. How would one indicate that you've only got a set? How would you loop through something? Well, with a for loop. But can you continually loop through a single array? Let's say you had an array of 30 items or 26 items, like 26 letters. Although, well, 26 items in an array would be 0 index, so that'd be 0 to 25. And if you said to loop through it 30 times, does it go 5 past? Or does it circle through and then go back to the start and count 5 into the beginning again, ending on 4? I'm not familiar with the specific logistics and the breakdown of how that gets processed. In the meantime, as a simpleton type answer, this is the best I can come up with. So we take string, we do a for loop. This really is empty. but we take our for loop, we go through the length of string, the character at each character, we get a value, and we're pushing that value to Cipher. So we get 65, 66, 67, let's say it's ABC, and we get those numbers in here. Now to go 13 ahead, I'm sure there's a clever way to loop through, reference 13, have a nifty little array, and stuff gets spit out, and that's all great. But since we can't quite envision what tools to use to make that happen, as a much more basic approach, if we end up with these values from our for loop, and they get pushed into our Unicode from character, character, what the hell is this? Character code at, not character cat at, little kitty on the brain, right? Left, damn. Character code at I pushes here, and then shift can reference shift is equal to, I don't even remember how to reference an object, the elements in an object. Wouldn't it be like alphabet dot something? Need to be alphabet dot cipher. Or it's alphabet cipher, or alternatively, both of those are awful. Thank you, little cat, but I don't think that was going to save us. JavaScript key value pairs. We are looking, how can I add a key value pair? Objects, modern JavaScript tutorial, object entries, how to create a dictionary, multi-dimensional array, treehouse, Stack Overflow, object entry, so parentheses. That seems to be what we're looking for. An object, 100 equals A, 2 equals B, 7 equals C, very much what we're looking for, essentially. Console log, object dot entries, an object. But what does it return? That's just a bunch of fucking noise. We want some specifics. Converting an object to map. If object.entries, if not object.entries, kind of strange. Own props.length, something about new array. Yeah, that looks dumb. That's my 2 cents on that. So that's cool that they've got the object here. So maybe cipher is what we're actually looking for. And they're mapping crap. No. Map some new stupid thing. How do I access? JavaScript access key value pair. How to get a list of key value pairs? No. We'll try this and that. How to create, define employee array, employees push ID, ID 100, name Yash, what? Age 30, okay. For I employee dot length, alert ID, employees I dot ID, name plus employees I dot name. So it's that next bit, and then age is employee dot age. So I'm looking for death. Oh, so tired. Why is my eye, little kitty? I blame you. My eye is itchy for some reason. Yeah, that's right. Oh, she's all the way over there now. Okay, so for I employee, so it's looping through though. For I and blah 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 employees. So that'd be alphabet. And then the dot name, cipher dot name. Something's off. We need to do a for loop through cipher. Here's my object literal, variable object, key 1, value 1, key 2, value 2. How can I add key 3, value 3 to the object? Two ways to add new properties. Dot notation, object dot key 3 equals value 3, or object key 3 equals value 3. First form is used when you know the name of the property. The second form is used when the name of the property is dynamically, not dramatically, dynamically determined, like in this example. Get property function property name, return object property name. Get property 1, 2, and 3. A real JavaScript array can be constructed using either variable array, the array constructor notation, variable array new array. You use either one of those provided key 3 is the actual key you want to use. Array key 3 equals value 3, blankety blank. I'm just trying to get familiar with calling the damn thing. Defaults. Extending. Typical. Because your array is not really an array, it's prototype object, the real array would be variable array equals key 1, value 1, in its own unit, key 2, value 2. Still not right. It should actually be key 1. What the f is this? That seems wildly unnecessary. Variable employees. Super death. Okay, so returning foo bar baz. How do you get a listing of properties within the value of foo? A for in loop can give you the key and value. For I in foo, I, foo I. That might actually be helpful. Foo equals bar baz. Object bar baz proto object for I in foo console I comma foo I bar baz something something something. You can loop through it. Foo and I. Oh damn. We're so lost. So very lost. Car properties, car.name, fiat, car.model, 500, car.weight, start, drive, brake, stop. All cars have the same properties, but the property values differ from car to car. All cars have the same methods, but methods are performed at different times. JavaScript. You've already learned JavaScript variables contain data values. Could assign simplified fiat variable named. Objects are variables too, but objects can contain many values. This code assigns many values. Fiat 500 white to a variable named car. Yeah. Car, type fiat, blah, 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 blah. Now, to call that nonsense, name value pairs, John Doe blankety 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 blank, object method, definition. Well, how the f would you call? Okay, wait. Full name, function, return this dot first name and this dot last name. First name would return this. Last name would return that. So we want object cipher I. We want to loop through cipher. And we want to have it attached to alphabet. So we need a for loop. This is what we were looking for. Oh, took forever, but we got there. And then that will equal shift. Potentially. So we'll have yet again another for loop. Copy. This time we're going to J. And it will be cipher. J. You know what? We also didn't have I is less than, which means we need J is less than. Cipher push. Copy. Cipher. Something else. Now we need for death. Yeah, because we were doing string character code at. So now we're going to be pushing to shift. And this would be from character code. Is that right? We were going in a different direction. No, we don't want from character code just yet. We don't want from character code just yet. We will be pushing to shift. We're going to be doing, I think, shift from character code will be coming in the future. That'll be, I think, another for loop, but bear with me. This is actually going to be alphabet dot cipher I. I think. Fuckers. This needs to be called. Can we call it an array? No. Variable? That's better. Or object? Do we go big and call it let? Nah, no, we won't call let. We'll do variable. Okay, so that's why alphabet was white with no cool font. Now it's solved, so that's good. That's comforting. Function variable. Now here, 1, 2, same song and dance, variable something or other, and maybe even a third for loop. Now we're going to be taking shift. Because see, 65, 66, 67. Will be 78, 79, 80, and from there, we will be taking something or other. My concern is the spaces. I don't know what's happening with the spaces. I know. Fuck. Death. I know the letters will be fine going through. I just stopped to think about the punctuation and how messy that's going to be. The other thing is I always forget if I is supposed to be in brackets or in parentheses, you know? It's a fucking nightmare. If it's not one thing, it's another. So now, ideally, in my mind, clearly this is wrong. I mean, it's highlighting what my current thought process is. Lastly, we wanted to take shift, which was from character code. So really, that should be something. Do we do yet another for loop after it? What would we do? From character code, blankety blankety blank. Can we just run? We could have just a bunch of shit in there and have it spit it out. So from, but see, these all have commas between them. Although I guess that would work because they would all be broken up already because we were pushing them via for loop. So it was dumping each one with a comma to the new array. So dropping that array in, I think, would function just fine. So what would we call this one? Rotate? Let's do death. From string shift dot from character code I feel like I'm supposed to put something there within those parentheses. 6-7 string. What the deuce is the string portion? Do I really just start with string? And that returns ABC? Maybe I just put shift in here. String from code return shift. That must be the case. I guess it is. String dot from whatever. And then we put shift in here. So let's cut that, call it string, and maybe it'll work. Otherwise, it should be I, in my opinion. I think it would be shift dot from character code I. Maybe. I don't know. This is all awful. Rotate. Run it. Yeah. Alphabet.cipher is not a function. Cool. So, JavaScript. One of the simplest, most widely known ciphers. Also, shift cipher. Common modern use Rot13 Cipher. Write a function that takes Rot13 encoded and returns decoded string. Yeah. Copy and paste. That's what we're going to do. And we're closing, and we're closing, and we're closing. Because it has been an hour of suffering. Caesar Cipher. Code challenge, GitHub, forums, bonfire, Stack Overflow. Yeah. Hey. Replit? One of those. And GitHub. So, what do we have here? We have something or other. We are completely doomed. But we're going to keep pushing ahead because we are determined to succeed. We are meant to fall on our face. There was a solid hour of painful falling. How do you use string at character code at to get and store character code values? Also, the other thing, in addition to the 18 for loops and all this, I also feel like it should be just 2 lines of code, maybe 3, because these seem to collect and loop through at somehow. That it should also be Something similar to, well, we'll take the last one. Ta-da! And where'd the other one go? Copy. Yeah, string character code at maybe even string inside here. Really not too sure. Maybe this is also string. Don't really know. But it would turn into something like variable cipher, really. Equals blankety blankety blank, and then we would just take this, copy, cipher, and that. And this would be variable, we can call that shift, or rotate. See, I'd love to see something like that, and then return, rotate. I feel like instead of all of this noise, the answer should be something more similar to this than what I currently have up here. Maybe, possibly, there might be a for loop between this noise just to do some general processing. But long story short, pretty straightforward like that. That's the other way I'd like to see it end up. However, that's definitely not the case. I mean, it probably... I'm sure the final solution is something elegant and straightforward like that. It sure isn't this. I'm certain this could be tweaked to be made to work. But this probably isn't what they're looking for. I would assume they're looking for an answer that resembles more of this outcome. We were looking at stuff, though. So, Java Stack Overflow. Here's my code for getting the character code values first, then converting them to code value to -13. Need to do this in my question. And I convert that character code to get what the character... You know what's interesting? We could do +13. You do +13, and you just capitalize everything. Because after it goes through from 65 to, what is it, like 91? 65 plus 20... 85... God, it's late. What is it? 1:03 a.m.? Terrible time to be doing math. 26 characters. Yeah. So, 91. I'm going to stick with that. So, 65 to 91 would be the first 26 capital letters of the alphabet. And then from there, 92 would be my best guess of when it converts to lowercase. So A, 93, lowercase b, 94, lowercase c, so on and so forth. So we really could do +13 all the way through and just do dot uppercase or .2 uppercase to be more accurate for JavaScript. And just run that, and it should be fine. Then we don't need to set up the whole key value pair thing and break down what the hell the key value pair is and loop through it all. Let's see what they have. Here's my current code for getting code values for the first letter of the string, then converting that character code value to -13. I need to do this in my question. Then I convert that character code to get what the character is. As far as I'm able to do it for the first character in the given input string, what I want to do is get the character code for each letter in the string all at once, and then decrement each character code by 13. Then convert each character code back to a letter and output the whole converted string. Also, my input is not fixed. There are many test cases which keep changing. Please help me solve and keep these points in my mind. Here's my code. Rot13 string, a string character code, a minus equals 13. Able to get character code 0, one at a time. How do I do it for all the indexes? I would assume a for loop. Variable b, string dot from code equals a, negative 13. And from each character code, I need to give back a letter, but I want to return a whole converted string, not just a single converted letter. How do I do it? Return B? Well, that's not right. Well, oh, no, that it return B, and you're converting this. Change to blankety blankety blank. Well, first of all, there's gotta be, I would assume, a loop. Okay, so you need a loop across. You need to loop across all characters of the string, then keep on appending the changed value to the string. Value to string B like this. So maybe plus equals is used to some degree. Function Rot13s return if s equals, oh wait, if else this. If s equals s, a guy can't even read a freaking ternary statement right now. I'm totally losing it. My mind is just disintegrating at 1:03 a.m. We've done the last 4 days. I can't believe it. We had streamed at like what, noon, 1, 2, maybe it was closer to 3 or 4, but it was like 10 or more hours earlier than normal. And now, out of the blue, we're back into the middle of the night streaming. We're completely failing. Anyways, this dot split, then they're going to map. There's a lot happening here. What's going down, they've got their ternary if-else statement. Then they're splitting it into an array, and then they're mapping with a whole function with an if statement in it, and then returning all of that noise. They're setting up variables within that. C equals math.floor, character code at 0, divided by 97, and then K, C, 2 lowercase, just like the 2 uppercase thing I was talking about. So you just set it to wherever the hell you want it. And then character code at 0 minus 93. Ah, see, all the letters are going to be lowercase, so they're only dealing with one set of 26. That's interesting. Character code at 0 minus 83 modulo 26 or 26. Not really sure how that helps anybody. Return string from character code K plus C equals 0. If it does, return 64. Otherwise, return 96. 64. What the hell's at 64? Because A starts at 65. Strange. I get the feeling this code works just fine. I'm certain it's beautiful, in fact, but my issue is that I just don't fully see how everything can... Aha, regular expression. So that's what was happening with the map function. They've got their if, but they're basing it off of a regular expression. So if it does not match a space, the underscore, A through Z, capital, and A through A, return the space. I think that's what it is. Math.floor underscore character code at 0/97. Otherwise, K, 2 lowercase code. So that's how they're keeping the punctuation. So I feel a little bit better about that. And then that's how they are determining the, what's it called? The stuff and such. That's how they're determining the letters. Return string from character code. Oh god, well, not anymore. I was going to say, I'm surprised we haven't completely fallen into delirium yet, but since I can't even say surprised without saying supplies for whatever reason, we are quickly falling down from sanity into the depths of confusion. Caesar Cipher, one of the simplest, most widely known Rot13. Don't transform any non-alphanumeric characters. Here's some helpful links. Blankety blankety blank. Test. Rot13. That's the original code. Solution code. Function. Rot13 string. Split the string into a character array. Return string dot split. Cool. That's totally doable. Iterate over each character in an array. C can be the current element, and I can be the current index. Map a function to it. Now that's interesting. See, since they're just rolling with it through the code, like so, they're just dropping in a dot map function. It's almost like the dot map function is tied to this guy, but they didn't bother setting up a variable. It's kind of cool. I don't know if I would do it particularly that way. I think it would have taken the time to set this up as a variable. Probably string array, and then string array dot map, and then proceed from there. But this still works, especially since they have it broken down with codes. That's probably another thing I should end up doing after 224 days, is starting to add more comments to my code to piece together. Anywho, so dot map function C is the current element, or will be. I is going to be the current index, and then what the deuce is A? Let's find out together. Convert character to the A character. So this is sort of going to be the final product. That's what we're going to end up with. So variable string code A character code I A. That's really just kind of a preemptive. That's like setting up a variable almost, but they just include it as part of the parameter. They're going to be mapping something to it, I suppose. Convert character to a character code. So string code. A dot character code at I. So we're looking at the index. Checks if the character lies between A through M. Capital A through M. If string code is greater than or equal to 65 and string code is less than or equal to 77, capital A through capital M, return the string from character code. Here we were doing character code at, but now we're returning string from character code, and whatever that string code is, plus 13. Check if that character lies between N through Z, else if string code is greater than 78 and string code is less than 90, See, look at that. That's cool. Return the string from character code string code -13. Does that really work that simple? How? Hold on. Oh, it does. Else return C. Oh my god, I'm a crazy person. Look at this. Look at this. Where'd it go? Right here. Rot13. I'm crazy. It's not. Oh god, that took so much time just for me to come to the stupid addition subtraction conclusion. It is to the same degree that A plus 13 as you go A, B, C, D, E, blah, 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 all the way down to M, and then you end up at N, is A plus 13, and B plus 13 is 0. I was thinking in my mind that this was one giant 26-character array, and it had to go from A all the way to Z, and at the end of Z, you had to keep pushing forward, going around to restart. Kind of like the original Super Mario Bros. You know, you've got the set frame, you can go through one side and come back out the other, right? It's just like a shared frame thing. But that's just the difference right there, that last bit, how you can go to the left and come out on the right side. You can just subtract 13. I don't know why I thought it was one direction that we were moving. I don't know why that I didn't think to do subtract plus 13 for A through M and minus 13 through N through Z. Holy hell. I couldn't figure out how to indicate when you plus 13 to Z, which would be 91, that it would end up circling or counting from, what's it called? Death, 65A. Because 91 plus 13, there's no way in hell it's going to go, oh, I'm going to start counting from 65. Oh, unless we set it up that way, but I don't have the energy to piece that together. Minus 13, that's the beautiful solution. So it just takes it straight from Z to M, or Y to L. Oh, death. Death. So much confusion. You know what would solve this? Is it actually wouldn't solve it at all, but it would make me feel better. The second season of Stranger Things is not out yet, and I feel like watching the second season of Stranger Things would make all of these problems disappear. If we could just stop and do that now, that would be awesome. But it's still just the middle of August, and we have to wait, I think, until October for that to happen, so we just get to sit here frustrated, wanting for the future. Damn. Okay. Never surrender. Never give up. Super death. Is there any code that we can salvage? Because basically, I want to scrap all of this. Because it makes me feel sad. Because theirs is so concise and straightforward. Look at this. This is just, really, aside from the comments, there's way more comments than there are lines of code. And it's such a beautifully executed, straightforward. This isn't any of that clever nonsense we saw in whatever the hell was going on here. What is this noise? No. I mean, it is if-else statements. It's just ternary stuff, but I don't have the mental capacity to sort through that crap right now. This is also cool. Let's see what's happening here. What happened? Else if return string minus 13. Beautiful solution. Return the character. Else return C. Return string change, console log, I, concatenating I and C and string code and plus string change, and then we're joining everything with spaces. No space. Just on each character, rejoin the array into a string. Fascinating. So what's the other option? One of the simplest, best known, blah, 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 blah. Do not transform any non-alphanumeric characters. Function, Rot13. Let result string equal an empty string. Already off to a good start. Loving the variable. Also, liking the let. Newer standards for JavaScript. So that's cool. So let result string equal an empty string. Just pretend it says variable instead of let. Let I equal 0, string.length plus plus. Cool. String character at I greater than or equal to 65. So that is what we're looking for. 65 to 77. That's what we need to be putting in. New character string. Basically, I kind of almost want to copy all of this, but just visually for me to understand it better. As far as visual cues, I'd want to change all the lets to variables. It's just easier for my eyes to latch on to. At least in the meantime. But anyways, if string character I is greater than or equal to 65 and string.character code I, character code at I is less than or equal to 70, let new character equal string code at I plus 13. Result plus equals string from character code new character. Pretty cool. Else if string character code at greater than or equal to 78 and string.character code at I is less than or equal to 90, let new character equal string.character code at I minus 13. This right here. This was the nightmare that we were trying to figure out for basically an hour. That was the whole battle that we were essentially missing. Visually, we could mostly see this. This was essential, and we missed it. But that's what the last 224 days have been like. A complete miss. From there, let new character code string minus 13 result string plus equals string from character code new character. Else result string equals plus I. Return result string. Change the inputs. We're going to use this. We can look at that. GitHub, lots of stuff and other things and pseudocode and some cool reference. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's doing something. I don't know what, but it's thinking about it. Good. That's hot. Let's go with the other one. Because this is nice. Although we're going to steal from let. Okay. Clear my code. So we will be changing all of this. Okay. Now, let's change variable Oh, well, that's one way of doing it if you like to totally destroy your code in a hilarious fashion. Let's undo that, shall we? Copy. Yes, there we go. Just trying to get my variables out here, guys. Now, the next bit of stuff. So we had string. Function Rot13 string. LBH, QBQ, VG, exclamation. We have our variable result string, which will end up in an empty string in the meantime. So that's just prep work for the future. For variable I equals 0, I is less than string.length, I++, which is what we had. However, they then throw in an if statement, string.characterCode at I. If it's greater than or equal to 65 and string.characterCode at I is less than or equal to 70, which means if it's anywhere between capital A and capital M, that variable new character string.characterCode at I will be given plus 13 to whatever the hell its number is, and then from there result string will be plus equals string dot from character code with new character. This guy right here, new character, lands here, and it gets added to result string. So that's where it starts to process. So that's the first part of the if statement. Ta-da! Part 2. Else if string.characterCode at I is greater than or equal to 78, which is n through, and string.characterCode at I is less than, is it? I thought it would go to 91. 25? Or 65? 26 characters? Because 65 plus 25 is 90, so what the hell? Maybe I'm insane. It is 1:27 a.m. in the morning. Else, yes, something or other. Yeah, good time. So, variable, new character, string, character code at -13. To kick it back down into this category, A through M. Result plus equals string dot from character code, new character. So, new character gets spit in here, processed, flows all through that noise. Else, simply just return I to the string. No need to worry about it. Return result string, that's what we'll be getting. We can delete this guy. What's happening up here? Why is it upset? New character is already defined. New character is already defined. So maybe we could do it would still function. It's not, that's more of a that is a hazard sign, not an error sign, so it's not critical failure. What we could do is set up the variable new character here and have that hold. But no, I wouldn't worry about it. It's fine because it's part of each separate aspect of the if-else statement. So we don't need to worry about that, at least for now. Okay, is there anything else cool that we should focus on or worry about? I think not. Yeah. freeCodeCamp. Cool. Now, the thing that we need to focus on, though, is the punctuation aspect. there are, and I think that's where the mapping thing came into. You remember that? The mapping issue? Yeah, you remember the mapping issue. Was this guy right here. If blank 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 return that dude. This dot split map function. I'm trying to think of what else or where and how I could actually implement that. They've got the return in their if statement. Then inside their map function is all of this noise, which would be very similar to within our for loop. We've got our if statement, and all of this is within the if. But they've simply got their map stuff going on. I guess we could drop it before our if statement, but that also seems like crazy talk. I kind of want to try and compare to see the difference in theirs versus ours. Copy. Here we go. Dee 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 dee. Lie da die 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 dee 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 doo dee 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 doo. How is it? Da 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 dee 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 dee. Return S. Well, frankly, they did S, so all S's should be strings. String, string. Three strings. Don't make a right. String, string, string. That was the first. Let's see what their code has to offer. Ta-da, freeCodeCamp, there is no spoon, but there is, in fact... Let's break this down a little bit. Return if string then this, else that if does not match A through Z, return blank. Super death. My only question is why I wonder why they chose to do break it up that way versus this way up here with the two with the if and else if for the ternary statements. I mean, they were already using ternary, but they could have easily implemented the A through M or N through Z. And what was the last one as well? Solution ES5. variable function Rot13, use strict, make an output variable that contains an empty string as its value. Variable output. Go through each character. For variable I equals 0, I less than string.length, I get the character to append. Variable C, string.I, variable code, string.character code at I, uppercase the letters. That's what I was talking about. If uppercase letters is in hunting through the uppercase letters, right? If code is greater than equal to 65 and code is greater than is less than or equal to 90, C string from code minus 65 plus 13 modulo 26 plus 65. Wow. There's a whole lot to that. I feel like these were so much more straightforward. I mean, and it's not like wildly clever per se. Like this answer, what the hell's going on here? These are straightforward answers, but this is extremely... They've got each one sectioned off. Code greater than or equal to 65, and in its own parentheses, code greater than or equal to 65. And this reminds me very much of, well, basically like a math class. I have to write out your steps. The teacher, professor, whatever you want to refer to him, wants to see the steps you did working out the problem as it goes through like each bit conceptually on what the hell's going on. Almost borderline excessive. We'll call it thorough, because that's what it is. This is extremely thorough. Lowercase, but it's good because it doesn't leave any room for confusion, which is kind of awesome. That's exactly what I need. Else if code greater than or equal to 97 and code less than or equal to 122, C equals string from code minus 97 plus 13 modulo 26 plus 97. Append output plus equals C. When it's all said and done, return the output. Ta-da! Wow. So there's no avoiding the if, else statement. And returning the main one. However, it's same song and dance, yet again, I believe we can run theirs, but I think this doesn't cover the, what's it called? I don't know what the use strict enables. I'm not sure this will cover the punctuation issue. We'll set this on the back burner for now as well. So we get to see and taste all the different solutions that are out there because we can. Ta-da! And here, so variable output for string.length, string I, string character code I, output, return output. Yeah, that's something I can live with. Why are they upset? Unmatched thing of sorts. That's all. We were simply missing one of those. Not to worry. Not to worry. You know what? Let's put some space between those. And now let's see what we get with this. Ta-da, there is no spoon. And I definitely like this far more than I like the other two. Boom. Because these are far more straightforward. Plus, they even got the comments. Now, the difference with this was so variable output, we set up our empty string. It's ready to receive. That's what we're putting out. For variable I equals 0, so string will start at 0, the beginning, and go through it. C is string.I. Get the character to append. Get its code. Variable code is string character code at I. Uppercase letters. If code is greater than or equal to 65 and less than or equal to 90, C, the string from code, will be the code itself minus 65 and plus 13, modulo 26, and then plus 65 in the end. Lowercase letters go through the same song and dance, else if code is greater than 97 and code is less than 122, C equals string from character code, code minus 97 plus 13, modulo 26 plus 97. Cool. The else, so that's for the actual letters. Where the spacing and punctuation come through is C. If it's not a capital letter, if it's not a lowercase letter, then it just gets pushed through to output. That's where the spaces and punctuation are coming through, is in the else statement. That was the mystery. That was my uncertainty else in the other ones. But see, theirs was so thorough, even I understood it. After an hour and 41 minutes of sheer confusion and delirium, even I was able to understand their beautifully written code. Good frickin' times. Good riddance. Thank God. The nightmare's over. It's been over, but we were determined to understand what the hell we were looking at. There is no spoon. Truer words have never been spoken. Submit and go forth. Not literally to our next challenge now, but for the future. If it happens tomorrow, who knows? We may try to tackle Code Wars finally. We've got that. We've had that mythical beast one sitting on the back burner for a while. We really should get to that sooner than later. However, on the horizon for the future, whether it's tomorrow, day 225, or beyond, we have here, as our next steps at freeCodeCamp, JSON APIs and AJAX. Trigger click events with jQuery, change text with click events, and some other fun stuff that we get to learn about. Very, very cool. Let's close out of that. Let's back out to our profile. 248 items down here at freeCodeCamp. Many, many more ahead. Let's close out of all of this noise. Good, good, good. Awesome. Thank you again to anyone and everyone that may have stopped by to view the stream. Any and all views are greatly, greatly appreciated. In the meantime, we are backing out of freeCodeCamp into OBS. Stop streaming. Are you sure you want to stop the stream? Hell yeah. Kill it.